Hey guys, it's Adrian here. Welcome back. Finally, after a long time, I will be able to present you some new videos. This time, what I would like to try to do is to teach you about a breakout trading strategy. To do that, we'll need to cover a few basic topics. Well, firstly, how to identify the trend, support or resistance, and those two actually are really important. They're very simple, very easy, but actually they can make you money. So let's just jump straight into it. With identifying trend, I'm just gonna grab any other market right here. Let's just quickly change it. Properties, black on white. Here we are, bull candle. If you guys remember what I'm doing right now, it's actually good. If you don't, well, try to jump back to some older videos where you will see why I'm doing this. Let's have a look. There's a sign. Not sure if it's very popular or not. It says trend is your friend. What pretty much it means. And what is trend? Trend is a direction that the market is trying to go towards. So like if you see right here, starting from here up until here, trend was going up. It was an upwards. It's called bullish trend because it's simply strong, is pushing forward, is pushing everything there, and the price is going higher. So if you decided to buy at any point somewhere right here and you sell it there because the trend was bullish, you would have made loads of money. That would be a really good idea to do that. So an opposite to bullish is bearish. So you go bull and bear. Bullish is going up, bearish is going down. So just from here, as you can see, it started going down. So this became a bearish trend. So bull, bear, up and down. Of course, the market can go sideways for a little while, somewhere like around here. That doesn't really have any specific name. You can say it's coiling because it would have be in a channel or etc., which we'll cover in a minute. But what is important for you right now is just to be able to identify what is a bullish trend and what is a bearish trend. To do that, just go anywhere, have a look. Very easy. From up going down is a bearish trend. It's a downtrend. You can always hear something like uptrend. So of course downtrend is going up, down, uptrend is going up. If you will have any more questions, well, just skip to the beginning of the video. I think it was about 2, maybe 3 minutes, so it's very easy to do that. Now I would like to move in on to something a little bit more interesting. Something what's called support and resistance. Basically how to explain support and resistance. The most simple way, the simplest way to do that is with drawing some lines. Like here, I just drew that. It's just deleted. I'm going to show you how I do it. If you are using MetaTrader 4 or MetaTrader 5, just grab one little horizontal line and select where you want it. Here you go. I got this little box, so it shows me the properties. Let's just make it thick and black. Oh, that's not black. There we go. And here's the thickness. There we go. This black line will tell me a support. What is support? Support, as the name says, it supports something. So in this situation, with Forex, it supports the price from going any lower. So it does not allow the price to drop any lower, and it supports it at this very level of 1.85081. Let's have a look. We had slightly bearish trend. It hits the line, goes back up, it hits it again. This is when the support starts. Now it goes back up. This doesn't hit it, but it's very close, and it goes back up again. Of course, this line does not exist in real life. This is something you will draw. You will draw on your monitor, on your screen, using any software that is available to you. Um, but this is actually like a super amazing idea and method that you can use to help with your trading and decision making. If you what directions you want to go with your trade, you want to buy it or you want to sell it. This is very simple. You can see here it was a double. This is called double bottom because it hit the line twice. Almost hit it a third time, and then it just broke. It broke right through it. We're gonna get to this part later. How all this works. Right now, let's just focus on this. So this is the simplest one you can see. Straight line on the bottom. 1, 2 supports it. If you get 3 or 4 or 5, well, great. That means the support is even stronger. It actually supports the price at the current level. For you might be for many reasons. I don't know. The bank might say, oh, we don't allow our currency to drop any lower than 1.2 or 1.3, and they're gonna keep pumping money to make sure that the currency will not go any lower than that. So that's pretty much good for you because you can expect an additional movement from then to happen. So like here, if you are monitoring, if you are watching the market at this point, you see it going down, start going up, then you start seeing going down again. I would draw the line just to see what's going to happen next. If it goes back down and it bounces off upwards and starts going back up, this becomes a valid support line. So what's going to happen next? I will just monitor. It's going to turn back down again, and here around this point, you can expect two things. It's either going to go back up or it's going to go back down. But this will allow you to roughly predict when this possible change might happen. So this is the beauty of it. We will allow you to make your decisions a bit more clearer and give you a clarity of mind where you will decide when you should buy or sell your currencies. Let's look for more examples. This is a very simple one. I want to leave it there for some time, but no, let's just delete it. Try to remember. I was around 7 December 2004. Not a problem. Of course, we're on a daily chart, so each candle represents one day. That's why you see such a differences with dates. Let's have a look. Something really simple. Here we go. Here we have something really nice. Right in the bottom, you have a pretty strong support line. You could do it this way, or you could do it when you got your candles pretty much finished. So starts from here. We're watching the market. We're monitoring what's going to happen next. It's going right down. At this moment, it turns back up. You're paying a close attention to this level then, because that's where the trend shifted. The trend has changed. So you start watching it. It's going back down again, and roughly at the same level. It doesn't have to be perfect. It has to be fairly similar levels to each other. It turns back up again. That should give you an idea. There, somewhere around here is a support level that which means that the price will be supported, and most likely, well, I cannot say most likely, but there is an opportunity, there's a chance that we just won't go any lower than this. So we got 1, 2. I will count it as 2 because it's very close. Goes back up again, hits it for the third time, goes back up. Here is actually another support line, but we're talking about in just in 1 minute. But it just go back down, hits it again, pretty much perfectly, goes back up, down, up, and just keeps on going until right here where it just completely breaks through. As you can see, this line does not exist, but it's fascinating because something that you draw using your software, you just look at the chart and you see, hey, I'm going to draw this line. It does not exist. It's just a creation of your own. It really works in a way because, as you can see, well, this is the proof. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a way. So it bounces off 5 times of a similar price level. Up until then, actually goes back down. So it was, for some reason, one or another, it was supported here by something. It might be, like I said before, banks might be pumping money and deciding, hey, we don't allow it to go any lower, and then we just or might be political reasons. There were some bad data at the beginning of the year, and then just some when a bad situation was happening, there's some good data, again. It wasn't perhaps wasn't good enough to turn and shift the whole trend entirely to start going back up, but it did work in a way to support you guys at this very level. As I said, right here, let's just find something. No, sorry, forget about it. As I said, right here is actually another support line, because what we just focused twice was on a very straight line. They're very simple to spot. Let's delete it. But those lines can go either way. It doesn't have to be straight. It can be something like this. Let's have a look. Here we are. Let's change it to black as well, so it's a bit easier to see it. So as you see, he also was another support line. 1, 2, I'll give it 2, 3, 4, 5. It bounces off 5 times. It was actually pretty strong. It was downtrend. It was in this little slot right here between March till May, and pretty much May, halfway through May, in this downtrending part of the market. It was actually supported at this different price levels. So as you see, it doesn't have to be a simple straight line. It's not necessary for it to be a simple straight line. It can be shifted slightly. It can be horizontal. It can be parallel to something. It can be diagonal. It doesn't really matter. As long as you can connect to some points at fairly similar levels with one straight line. That's it, pretty much. That's the whole magic behind it. So as you can see, as I said, it shifted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times until it got back up again and broke through completely with our previous line, as we've seen right here, right there. So it broke it through completely here and here. I wouldn't really monitor this line any longer. I would just focus on the main one, and the big one. Always try to focus on the big picture. It is quite important. Let's delete that. Let's look for some more examples of support. Here, another one. Would it go? I'm so sorry. Let's have a look. Would it go from here? Kind of, but there's something a bit clearer, so I wouldn't want to play around with this. Here you go. A lot clearer than that. I say always try to go for something simple. The simplest is the better. The reason why, it's actually, well, it's also very simple. If you can identify a support line, like as I did right here, the simplest way, it will increase your chances that you're actually going to be right, that it is actually there for some reason, one or another, and it will actually, help you with your transactions. And why, you say? Well, very simple. If you can see it, and if you try to find the simplest way to do it, the simplest support line you can see, I can guarantee you that millions of other people around the world will also going to be looking at exactly the same part of the chart. Because if this was live and you happen to be right here, you've seen that it shifted somewhere right here. You start monitoring. You draw your line. It hits here. You adjust it slightly, and then it hits it for the third time. this is a valid support line. You know that. If you know that, millions of other people around the world will also know that. So most likely they will take similar decisions to yours, depending on if they follow the same strategy. But the strategy I'm going to show you guys, it's one of the simplest ones. It's one of the most basic ones, and been followed by traders around the world for quite some time now, and it does work. It might not be the best, it might not give you millions of pounds within a couple of weeks, but it will get you some money back into your pocket if you do it right. Okay, let's see if we can just find one more support, and then we're going to move on. Okay, well, we were actually looking at a horizontal and downtrend support line. Now, here I can see an uptrend support line in a way. Let's have a look if I'm right. Roughly here, but let's see if we can move it just from a little bit higher. It's very steep. It's a very steep support line. Let's see if I can find a slightly better example for you. Well, as you can see, hopefully you can. Around here, I have a support. It actually carried forward for quite a bit of time, up until here. Here is a good example I can see. Perfect. That will do. Let's just zoom in so you guys see. So the trend has shifted, goes back down, up. Well, it hits back down again. Remember, this is within one day, so it might be loads of activities right there. It goes back up, so I would count this as one bounce, two, because it's very close, kind of three, and it was a four, and then breaks down. So there's another example of a support line. This might not be perfect, but it would be valid, because it will help you to identify the levels, the price levels, at which you can expect the shift in the trend. Either bounce back up or break completely right through it. Is there anything around here? I think I've seen it. Let me just zoom out. I think I have seen something very clearly. Let's delete this. I don't remember what I've been doing there. Well, actually, pretty much in a live trend right here. Let's have a look. That will be from here. Pretty good. Let me see if this actually continues from a little bit earlier. That will be stretching it quite a bit. Let's just go the easy way. Here we go. Here we go. Let's just zoom in just slightly a little bit. So it starts from here, supports it roughly at this price level, goes back up, supports it again, and now again, and here, somewhere around this price level, we can start to expect what's going to happen next. So it can be two different things. It can either go back up or go back down. So let's have a look. I think I got some arrows here. So, whoa, not really big, but that will do. Let's have a look. Let's go back down, or it can go up. Now, we don't know what's going to happen. We can just predict is going to be around here, but we move into this part slightly later. Most likely it's going to be in a second video. Okay, so that was support. Now I want to talk about resistance. So support was supporting the price, so it couldn't drop any lower. Resistance, as you can imagine, is the complete opposite to it. So resistance will resist a price to go any higher. Some good examples of it. Yeah, actually I can see it right here on the top. That would be a very good example of it. So, like I said, those examples don't have to be perfect. They just need to be fairly close to each other, or fairly close to the line that you're going to draw to become valid support or resistance lines. So here we go. The market goes up. In here, there's a shift in a trend. Goes back down. It starts going back up. So I'll be monitoring if it's going to go higher than the previous structure, than the previous price level, or is it going to be exactly the same level and go back down. In these situations, it spikes through just a little bit, then it goes back down, and it comes back again for the third time to the same price level, goes back down, and then goes back up again, spikes through quite a bit, and then you can see just bounce back down for a very long time. So now 1, 2, 3, 4 in a way. It bounces off the resistance lines 4 times. That was going to be pretty strong. I have to say, with the support and resistance lines, with both of them, it usually is around 3 times. 4 is slightly overextended, I could say. If it becomes 5, 6, 7, 8, that is quite unusual, but then it means there's a very strong support or a resistance line. So in here, let's say if you were watching and monitoring the market around this time of the year closely, and you've seen, okay, it spiked for a little bit, but it hasn't closed yet. We'll get to this part a little bit later, but it hasn't closed. So it just spiked through, but it came back down. I would say there's a valid bounce off. So I would here, roughly around this price level, I would start selling this currency, because I had 1, 2, third time, and it still is going back down. That means it will just keep on going, bouncing up. As you can see, went down, slightly back up, and then just completely went through the floor. There was nothing to support it here, just went back down. And if you would do it, if you would start selling it here, even if you would start selling not right at the top, roughly when the new candle started, roughly at this level, and closed it when the candle finished, that's 1,223 pips. That's a lot of money, I have to say. If there was somebody who was lucky enough and stayed till the very end, that would be 13,000 pips. I can tell you very easily you'll be a millionaire by then. You have people doing it. You have people being able to predict those big huge movements. But this, as you can see, this started at the 15th of January till end of March. If somebody in January could see, hey, I think it's gonna go down, and in March close the transaction, they are a millionaire. Those guys know what they're doing. Okay, so we got one very simple resistance line. Let's look for some more. Let's just go back up, zoom out slightly. So that was where we're looking at now. Here I can see another one. Here we are. Starting from here. Perfect. So goes up, down, 1, 2, 3. So you got 0.1, 0.2. So in here the support, sorry, I beg your pardon, the resistance lines has come into effect. In this part it was, for this third time it comes into effect very clearly, very strongly. It bounces off, as you guys can see. If, as you can see, it's a strong movement, which means many people are monitoring this level, and they have seen, okay, it has bounced off. It hasn't crossed. It hasn't broke through the through the structure. It starts going down, and many people at the same time just simply start selling. That's why you can see such a strong movements. Bam, goes back up, slightly down, hasn't touched, so it wasn't perfect. He was pretty much, is almost perfect connections. That's why it was such a strong movement afterwards as well. Another reason for that. And in here, it breaks through. Like I said, one, two, three, fourth time really, fourth or fifth time it just didn't hold. It wasn't so strong. Like I said, usually it's three, all four times. Most likely that will be bouncing between bounces of support or resistance line, and then most likely there will be a breakthrough towards uptrend or downtrend. And that's exactly what happened. It broke through. You could make some money right here. It closed, but it closed above the previous structure. The market was still a little bit unsure. It tried to pull it back down slightly, but then, as you could see, it was a very strong movement back up. And here, when everybody started already making money, they closed the transactions. The market just took it back down, and this is it. That's the beauty and simplicity of support and resistance lines. Let's just look for one more. Okay, here in a way you could see was resistant 1, 2. You could say that. Let's find just something better than that. Somewhere around here. Here is pretty good actually. I can see it right here. So we got sloping. Resistance line. In a way, I will leave it. I'm gonna look for something just a little bit better. Not far away, just right next door. Here we are. Perfect. Really happy with this. Let's just zoom in. So here was a resistance in a downtrend when the market was going down. So it started going down, tried to go back up. It found a resistance around this price level. Go down, tried to go back up. It found the same resistance once again for the third time, fourth time, and on the fifth time it broke through. Now there is a simple correlation between these price levels, which this correlation is simply the line you drew right here. There's nothing more to it. That's how easy it is. If you have a software in which you can monitor the trend, you can watch the charts and read the charts and analyze them, and then within that software, if you can draw lines, there you go. That's your golden method to make money. Now, what it also happens, it can also happen that you can have both resistance and support line at the same time, which it is in the way here. Let's just quickly draw a line. So it's a support line in the way as a support line right here. Perfect. And a resistance line right on top of it. So let's just zoom in. Change it to 4 hours. Where it is? Here it is. Be a little bit easier for us to do that. Here we are. as you guys can see. So those lines don't have to be perfect, but clearly there was a resistance line, just the price refused to go any lower. You could actually, let's make it a little bit easier. I need to delete this. Let's do it from here. Like I said, try to make it simple. Don't try to overcomplicate it. If you do, you fail. Keep it simple, stupid. Okay, here we go. So the market shifted. It found the resistance, support. You could say in here, but it was definitely in here. So let's ignore this point. It was definitely in here. Point 1, 2, and then the third one is it almost broke through, then but then go back up. Let's forget about this part. Let's just focus in here. So 1, 2. Right on top as well, as you can see, the market shifted here. It found the support, it went back up. It found a resistance level. Not just one. This was for the second time, and third time, and fourth time. Go back down. Try to go back up. Found the same resistance level once again. Bounces off right down to the support line again, and just coils up, as you can see. So this is quite common as well. So what you can do, if you can identify support resistance lines, and you are in this channel right here, in this channel pattern, you can trade the movements between support and resistance lines. As you can see, they're quite frequent, and they're quite regular and very easy to follow. You can do that as well. We talk about it some later on, because right now we will focus on a breakout strategy. But as you can see, the channels are there. Let's see if we can just find one more. That was the one we were just looking at. Let's have a look. As you can see, there's one more right here. Support, resistance, now I hope by now you guys, whenever I screw right through the charts, you're able to identify support and resistance levels on your own just by looking at it. As you can see here, not perfect but quite strong. Another one, beautiful double bottom, very strong. Okay guys, so what I would like you to do right now, we'll end this video. I want you to go and just double check yourself if you're able to identify the trend. Is it upward trend or downtrend? So if it's an uptrend or downtrend, which means bullish or bearish. If you can identify a support and resistance lines, and if you can identify channels, what are channels? Once again, our channels are when the market is it tries between support and resistance lines, so it bounces off. Both of them just coils up, and that will be it for now, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to send an email to me. I will leave the details under in the description below. Make sure to be subscribed and like the video, it definitely helps. And the video is pretty much being made as we speak. The second video is already rendering. So guys, hopefully you're gonna be able to use this knowledge to make yourself some money. Have a good day. Thanks for your patience, guys. Bye bye.